All right. As we learned in the morning Hasidic class, this marriage between Yitzchak, the son of Abraham, and Rivka, who was also in Abraham's family, we'll see him soon, is the most important wedding up to now in the history of the world. Why? Because it was the first wedding of the Jewish people. Abraham had not been circumcised until before Yitzchak was born. So Abraham's marriage was not really under the blessing of the covenant of God. And when Abraham got circumcised, then afterwards, Yitzchak could be born. And now Abraham had to go through the 10 tests, and God finalized his covenant with Abraham. And now Yitzchak was like 3 years afterwards. Yitzchak was 37 years old at the time Abraham took him to sacrifice him. And we know what happened, that he didn't sacrifice him. Now, 3 years later, and Abraham's wife died almost immediately thereafter. And 3 years later, now Abraham wants to find a bride for his son. So this story is talking about this bride, this match that's being made between Abraham's son and he's going to find Rivka. Now Rivka has not been found yet, and nobody had any inkling that she was going to be the one that was going to be married to Yitzchak, his son. Now let it be pointed out that pretty much all of Abraham's family were pretty nasty people. I mean, they were really like bad guys, all of them. And we already learned about Lot, how bad Lot was, that Abraham was traveling along with Lot. So it ends up that Rivka, so Abraham now was sending out his servant, Eliezer, his faithful servant, and in the morning class in the Devar Malchut, we're learning about exactly what was the status of this Lot. Okay, so yeah, what's going on over here? So we're gonna find out now. Avram was old, coming in days, and God blessed Abraham with everything. We said last time, what does it mean coming in days? That he had filled every day with holiness. But nevertheless, he was old. And here in Sufrono, it says that we're going to have to skip a few of these wonderful explanations over here. It says that Abraham was blessed with a son. Now we knew it was time for him to get married. Sufrono says that God blessed it, explains the reason. Yeah, it explains the reason. Be'er HaSibos, it explains the reasons that forced Abraham to send his servant Le'eretz Acheres to another land to find a wife for his son. I mean, Abraham was already living in Israel, so in Canaan. What's wrong with that? That's the promised land. Why did Abraham had to make his servant Eliezer swear that he wouldn't take a wife from any other place? Because first of all, the reason, because he was old, so he was worried that maybe he would die. And he wouldn't see his son get married. So therefore, he agreed not to delay. And so he sent immediately his slave. He didn't want to do it himself. Number two, not to delay anymore. And because there was not any one in all of Canaan that was fit for his son. We'll see that the Canaanim were very licentious. There's a commandment even in the Torah. There's a commandment, and we read this in the Yom Kippur in the afternoon. It says the deeds of Egypt you shouldn't do, and the deeds of Canaan you shouldn't do. This is the people of Egypt and Canaan were very decadent people. And so that's how we know that you shouldn't do. By the way, that's where we learn that lesbianism is forbidden. It's not stated clearly in the Torah, but because it's a decadent thing to do. It's just, pure pleasure. It's a sort of obsession with the lower pleasures. You shouldn't do it. So that's what you shouldn't be like Canaan. So the people of Canaan, which true, that was the promised land, but the people that were very decadent. And so he had to go to another place because Abraham's richness, so he was worried maybe somebody that wasn't proper would offer a lot of money in order to take his daughter. And he wouldn't try to find a proper wife. And also that's why he had to swear his Eliezer on all of these, that maybe someone would tilt his mind a little bit. That's what the Sifrono says. So Abraham said to his servant, the elder of his house that ruled over everything that he had, put your hand under my thigh. He says, why under my thigh? Because that was the bris, that was the only commandment, the only godly item that was in the world was the circumcision of Abraham. And he says also another reason over here, the Kli Yakar says, listen to this, he says, because, where is this? He swore him by the circumcision, because the circumcision, it reminds a person not to use his sexual powers for his own personal pleasure. And it limits a person's, licentiousness, is lust. Therefore, he said, don't take a daughter from the Canaanim, because the Canaanim were very, like I said, that they were very decadent. The Zima Yerusha Atzalim. Where did they get this from? Ham. Ham was one of the three sons of Noah, and that's where the Canaanim, they were direct descendants of him. So Ham was the father of Canaan. So Ham, if you remember, he was the son of Noah that went into Noah's tent, and it says he castrated him. Because some people say that he castrated him. Some people say that his son of Noah, Ham, raped his father. Therefore, it's not proper. And this lust was inherited to all the people of Canaan. It was Canaan. That was the whole land was Canaan. And therefore, that was another one of the reasons that he made him swear by the circumcision, because also the circumcision, God made this special blessing to Abraham. And because of that, because the great grandfather, whatever, the founder of Canaan, raped his own father, Noah. So therefore, they inherited this curse. They were cursed, and it says that a cursed cannot be connected to the blessed. Abraham was blessed, and he said you can't have people from Canaan. And it ended up that Eliezer was also from Canaan, so he was an exception. So Abraham says to Eliezer, his servant, I'm making you take an oath by the God of the heavens and the God of the earth. Later on, he's only going to say the God of the heavens and the God of the earth, that you won't take a wife from my son, from the daughters of Canaan, the place where I'm living, the place where I'm living now. So here we have a very interesting thing. The Or HaChaim says, why does he say the daughters of Canaan? That I'm living there now. So it says that Abraham revealed the reason why he gave him an oath, because Eliezer, his servant, thought that, listen, it's true that I'm from this cursed nation, from Canaan, right? That they came from Canaan, from Ham, who raped his father. But maybe this curse has gone away, because Abraham said that he had the power, that God gave Abraham the power of blessing. So maybe everyone that's connected to Abraham is now blessed. And so that's me. I'm a servant. So maybe I'm blessed. So that's what Abraham said. No, don't take a daughter from the people where I am sitting among them, even though that I'm in this place. And the place, and especially people who are close to me, they're all blessed. But that doesn't take them away the curse. The curse still remains. In other words, the blessing is here available, but it doesn't stop you from being, cursed. If you want to choose to be blessed, you can. But as soon as you stop, then your state is that you're from Canaan and these people are cursed. And also, he wanted to say, don't say that, well, maybe because you're living among these people, so therefore they're your neighbors. So they won't make you any trouble when you live with them. They all know you. Therefore, he said, no, the people that I'm living with, don't marry with them. Don't find me a bride here. I want you to make a big effort and find me a bride for my wife from some other place. Because you have to go back to my land. My land where I was born, you have to go over there and take a wife from there. Where was the place where I was born? Remember, we had that before. In the end of Parshat Noach, my land, that's Haran, that he lived there, and Moladati, the Ur Kasdim, where he went there. Ur Kasdim, that's where he got thrown into a fiery furnace. Nevertheless, that's where my wife is found. The servant said to him, listen, maybe the woman that I find there, Ulaya lo toveh isha, the woman that I find there won't desire to come back here to this land. Maybe I can, in other words, I'm going to go over there and make negotiations with this girl. And what if she doesn't want to? Now you want your son to get married, right? So maybe I can make her an offer that your son will go over there. We'll go back to Haran. I mean, you lived there once, Abraham, to this place where, not only that, you said this place where you're living right now is cursed. All the people are cursed. So why do you want to, maybe she won't want to come to a place where everybody is cursed. And right, you already said, the Sophrona, you already said that this place is disgusting. If I swear to take a woman from there, she won't want to come over back to here, right? She'll say, hey, why didn't Abraham take a wife from where he's living over there? It must be the people are pretty bad. I'm not going to go over there. But Yomer Avram said back to him, listen, what you're saying is very logical, but you better watch out. Don't ever offer to take my son back there. Why? Because it's true this place is really terrible now. But God, the God of the heavens, now before he said the God of the heavens and the earth, the God of the heavens, so there's two different opinions. One opinion is that where you go back there, that's what Rashi says, where you're going back to, over there, I was only made God the gods of the heavens. I didn't advertise his name yet. But the Dat Zakanim, he says, no, even right now, I have not advertised God as being the God of the earth yet. That's what the Dat Zakanim says. See? Lo Elokei Oretz, at that time, Abraham had not yet really advertised God in the whole world. Therefore, he wasn't, and that's why Abraham at that time was not mentioned in the first blessing of Shmon Esrei, Elokei Avraham. Because when did he start to be Avram? It didn't happen yet on the whole world. And Abraham was still working on it, but it didn't happen yet. So he says, no, God is just the God of the heavens. He told me, he took me from the house of my father, from the place where I was born, and that's where I'm sending you back to find Rivka. And he said to me, and he made me swear, and God swore to me, God swore to me, and he said, L'zaracha, to your offspring, I am going to give this land of Canaan. That God will send his angel in front of you, and he'll take a wife for my son from there. And Abraham was sure that she was found over there. And if the woman doesn't want to, and if the woman doesn't want to go after you, so you are absolved from your oath. Raket beni lo teshev shama. Just one thing, never talk, don't ever think about bringing my son back there. Rashi says, well, I mean, who's he going to get married though? If she does, she says, I'm not going to get married unless he comes over here. So what am I supposed to do? So he says, Kach isha mibenot Anir v'Eshkol Mamre. My good friends, Anir, Eshkol, Mamre, take a wife from there. But the only thing is don't take my son back there. Don't. But in the end, we're going to see that Yaakov, it says, my son won't go back there. But my grandson will go back there. That's in Parshas Vayetze. Vayetze Yaakov mi Beresha vayeh leCharona. Yaakov did go back there to Haran. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, in other words, on Abraham's place of a circumcision, and he swore on this thing. Okay, now it gets interesting. The servant now takes 10 camels from the camels of his master, from Abraham, and he went. And all the good things of his master he took in his hands. What does that mean? Took all things. So it says that Abraham, this we talked about, remember in the Devar Malchut, Abraham wrote a deed. And in this deed, the deed said, I hereby give everything that I have to Yitzchak. I'll call it Shelo. He said, everything that I have, right now, I'm giving it to my son Yitzchak. Why? In order that people would jump at the opportunity to marry this, because everybody knew that Abraham was rich. So he said he went to Aram Naharaim, to the Ir Nachor, to the city of Nachor. Now Nachor was what? The brother of Abraham, right? Abraham and Nachor, they were brothers. And Abraham, he married Sarah, he married two sisters. Abraham married Sarah, and Nachor married Milcah. And Sarah, because those were the daughters of Haran. Remember, Abraham had another brother, a third brother. There was Abraham, Nachor, and Haran. And this brother Haran, he had 3 children. And one of them was Sarah, and one of them was Milcah. So Sarah gets married to Abraham, and Milcah, she gets married to Abraham's brother, Nachor. That's what this place is. And they had a brother. Haran, he gave birth to a brother, to a son also. Who was the son? Lavan. So Lavan's even before the Lavan went traveling with Abraham, Lavan is going to be coming out to be sort of bad news. Okay, we'll see. So he went to the city of Nachor, Abraham's brother. And he put the camels down to their knees outside of the city by a well of water in the time of Erev, in the evening time, when the people come out to draw the water for the night use or whatever for them. So now Eliezer is standing there. He doesn't know what to do. I mean, everybody, the whole world is in front of him. How does he know what type of a girl to choose? Where is he going to go? Just look around at girls in the street or something. What is he going to? How is he going to find the? Probably there was no like matchmakers over there. He was the matchmaker. So Abraham just says, "Go over there and find me a wife." So he says like this: Abraham told me that an angel was going to go with me. Right? He was going to send an angel with me. Malachav, he's going to send his angel. Here, right? It said over here. Where is that pasuk? God, the God of the heavens, he will send his angel. God will send his angel before you in order to help you take away. Okay, so he says like this. He says, Eliezer says, Vayomer, Hashem Elokei Adoni Avram, God, the God of my father, of my master Abraham, Hakrei na lefanai, make it occur in front of me, right? And cause this accident. Of course, there's no such thing as an accident. Everything is intended by God. But make this happen in front of me today and do kindness with my master, Abraham. What's he say? Eliezer was certain in his master that the prayers would be accepted. And he said he was going to send an angel in front of him. So he continued and added on prayers that he should be deserving for the salvation should come through him. In other words, he knew it would happen. Abraham gave him a blessing, but he said, make me a proper vessel. Because sometimes it comes out that the blessings are there, but a person can't receive them because there's some sort of an impediment or of a disturbance. So he prayed to God that it should happen to him. So it says, the reason that he had to do this, because Eliezer was very afraid the family of Abraham would cheat him as soon as they knew that he was commanded to take a daughter from them. And as they knew that he had to take a daughter, so he was like, they sort of had him over a barrel. They knew that he was forced. So they thought maybe they'll trick him and they'll give him a handmaid from one of the women that come from the house. And they'll say that this is from their seed. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. There were no pedigrees. Therefore, he figured, listen, I'm going to do something smart over here. First of all, I'll make a test. And I'll say, Shehi Havatranut. I'll have to see if there's some girl that comes out and she really doesn't care about herself. She's willing to devote herself to others and help others if she's more generous than others. Then I can know that this is a sign that she comes from the house of Abraham. That she'll sort of speak unknowingly, and whoever comes out won't have any idea that I'm looking for a bride. I'm just looking for a girl that's like very, very kind, super kind. And then now I can start talking to her. Okay, behold, this is Eliezer speaking. I'm standing on this well of water, and the daughters are coming out to draw water. They're coming out to draw. Let it be, he's praying, let it be that the young girl that comes out and I say to her, please bend down your pitcher and let me drink. And she says, drink. Now the ladies, they came out and they drew the water, it was very heavy. So for him to say, let me have a drink. So a natural woman would say, where are you coming from? You drink yourself. Get some sort of a vessel. And look, there's vessels all around you, put your hands in the well and drink yourself. What are you asking me? So he says, I'm going to ask this lady if she'll give me to drink. And also my camels. I'm sorry, give me to drink. And if she says, drink, and also offers, I'll also give your camels to drink. It says this is an indication to your servant, and to your servant, and for Yitzchak, and then I'll be able to know that you have done kindness with my master. Then I'll know that this is the one that I wanted. I'm looking for someone that's very generous. And here we know that she's fitting because she is a generous person, and it's worthwhile for her to come into the house of Abraham. That's what it means, hochachah. I've clarified it. Now I can know because she's done from the house of Abraham, because Abraham was doing kindness. That was the big thing of Abraham. And it was that before he finished speaking, Rivka came out. And she was the one that was born to Betuel. Betuel. Who was Betuel? Betuel was born to Milcah. Milcah is the sister of Sora. Eshet Nachor, the wife of Nachor. Nachor is the brother of Abraham, Achi Avram. The Kadal Shichma, she had a pitcher on her shoulder. Hanara Tova Ma'od. She was very pleasant looking. Betula, she was a virgin. V'ish lo yada'a, and no one had any relations with her. There's a couple different explanations about this. Ish lo yada, he says ish lo yada means that she kept to herself at home, so nobody knew her. Rashi says a little bit differently. He said that she was a virgin in the normal sexual organ, and no one had her because it was a custom. It says that the daughters of Canaan, they used to not have sexual relations in a normal way, but they would have sexual relations from another place. And so therefore it said that she had never had any relations with anybody whatsoever. Okay, so in any case, the servant now ran to Rivka, and here she comes out, Rivka, and he says, give me a little bit of water from your pitcher. And she said, drink, my master. And the Timaer, and she ran down and she filled the Teret Kadashi. She stooped down and put her pitcher down, and she gave him to drink. And when she finished giving him to drink, she said, also here, I'll give also to your camels. I didn't kill it until all the camels have finished drinking. Vatamaer vata'ar kada al shoket. It says she went down and she filled up her pitcher again, and she bent down and she gave everyone to drink, and she went again to the well and she drew more water for his camels. Says Ha'ish Mishta'ela. So Eliezer was amazed. Machari, she was quiet. Ladat Hatzliach Hashem Darko Lo. Could it really be so that Hashem really sent him so quickly this girl exactly what he asked for? Could it really be such an amazing thing? He says, Mishtomem, he was amazed on the quickness that God did kindness with him. And he was quiet. He didn't say anything. He didn't say to her, listen, don't take so much trouble, etc. Like usually people usually do, right? He could have said, no, let me take the pitcher. I'll do it. He wanted to see really if she was really so kind, and also if she got angry. I mean, a normal person would say, what, you want me to go down and bring more? I mean, you're a man. You do it yourself. Come on, help me out. No. Now he said, if so, then so much good that God has done. When the camels finished drinking, so the man took a nezim zahav, like a golden nose ring, or a golden some type of a ring, a beka mishkalo, that weighed a beka, and 2 bracelets, put it on her hand, and that weighed 10 units of gold. Okay, why did he give her such a gift like this? And why does the Torah tell us? What do we get? Rashi says, a beka, this is a hint for the shekels that the Jews were going to take when the temple would be built. Beka legogolos. There was shekels. Jewish people gave they would give a shekel. Machzis a shekel. Beka legogolot, and it says that each one was a beka. That was the measurement in the time of the temple. And 2 bracelets. This hinted at the 2 tablets of the covenant, the 2 tablets of the Torah that God gave on Mount Sinai, and they each weighed 10 units of gold, hinting at the 10 commandments which were on the tablets. And he said to her, whose daughter are you? Please tell me. Hayesh Beit Avicha, and is there a place for by your father's house, a place to sleep? And he said, because Abraham sent, and he said, take somebody from my family, right? So he said, after he After she natan lo shaila, after she gave it to him, I'm sorry, she natan lo, after he gave her these presents, this nose ring and the bracelets, he asked her, why did he ask her? Because he was sure in the merit of Abraham that God was making his way successful, that this is going to be somebody from Abraham's family. Have you got a place for me to sleep? She said, I am the daughter of Bethuel. The Bethuel is the son of Milcah, Nachor's wife, that was born to Nachor, right? Nachor, your brother got married to a lady called Milcah, right? As I'm a direct descendant from this fellow called Nachor. She doesn't know he's from Abraham. We have also straw and fodder for your camels and a place for you to sleep if you want to. And he bowed down, he bent over and he bowed down to God. Miraculous thing. Now, this whole story, we've learned this already twice, right? What does he say? He says to God, if a lady comes out and she fills up her vessel, and I ask her to drink, and she gives me to drink, and she says, also give to the camels to drink, then that's a sign. All of a sudden, the story goes over again, right? The Torah could have said, and it happened. No, what does it say? It says, and the lady came out, and she filled up her thing, and he said, give me the drink, and she said, here, drink, and the camels drink. Exactly. We're going to see that the story gets repeated another time. He is going to go and repeat the story to her family and say, this is the big miracle that happened, as we're going to see, God willing, tomorrow. So we see that what's happening is that Hashem, God, is working in every single detail of the physical world, and the Holy Torah takes up so much time and ink and paper to tell us all these details. And one of the reasons is because the world is very important, but also because the world contains tremendous, amazing secrets, everything that we do. As we'll talk about, God willing, tomorrow. Have a good evening with Mashiach now. See you tomorrow at 8:15.